to see. Hope you're all fine and doing well. I'm back from my vacation. I had a wonderful time. For the first part of my vacation, I was going to Utrecht, Amsterdam, and to the sea. And this was very nice. And I found an insane amount of records, which I hadn't that much time to listen to because for the second part of my vacation I retreated to the nature. Was just spending some time in a remote village in the mountains and just hiking, trail running and reading all the time, which was really relaxing. But now I'm back and I got to listen to my new finds finally. I wanted to show you a fraction of it because I found a lot of records. I found over 15, and just in case you're wondering, I'm not rich, I'm not coming for money, even though that would be nice. But almost all my spare money goes to buying records, so yeah. I first went to Utrecht, which is a really, really beautiful city, and there was an record market, which is every Thursday. It's kind of like a farmer's market in the middle of a marketplace, but just with records. And I went there early in the morning, and the first record I just picked out was John Coltrane's Ohm, so I knew this was going to be good, and I found really nice stuff there. First being an original of Don Cherry's Moo second part. Came out in 1969 on UIG Actuel. Yeah, I think this is quite well known and it's really beautiful. It's avant-garde jazz with some world touch to it, and it's basically just a duo. Don Cherry playing pocket trumpet, piano, Indian flute, bamboo flute. She is doing some vocals, playing bells and percussions, and Ed Blackwell on drums, percussions and bells. And this is really wild and beautiful, and yeah, on the first song on the second side, it almost sounds like he's going to imitate a dove, which gives you kind of a frame of how crazy this record is, and it's way more wild than the first part, which I also had, but I do enjoy this even more. Curated and Bill Dixon, Consequences. This was originally released in 1964 as Bill Dixon's Seventet and Architects and the New York Contemporary 5 on Savoy Records, and UIG just decided to do a reissue of that. And this is really beautiful too. I have no idea from when this reissue is. I guess it's just late 60s or early 70s. And Bill Dixon's playing on the first side while Architect is playing on the second side, and he's joined by Don Cherry and Sonny Murray. This is just a fabulous record, and I was so happy to find this. And I think the cover artwork is just beautiful too. Ron Carter Pastels, which came out in 1976 over Milestone Records. I don't think I have to say that much about Ron Carter. He played on everyone's and their mother's album bass, so it's just great. I found this really dirt cheap, and this has kind of a cinematic touch to it, which is really interesting, and some parts even set you in a really thoughtful, pensive and sad mood, and other parts are really reviving, so it's a nice variety and really enjoyable. Jester Venter Eyeball on Ketone Records, which came out in 1974. This is fusion jazz with some funk influences. The first song has this who's the founder of Curated Records, and it's just similar, a little bit similar to the self-kicker, but without the synthesizer. It has a great variety of styles on there, and yeah, it's a great record. Just a little disclaimer, I found a ton of CTI and ECM records. I am not going to say that much about the ECM finds because they will show up one day or another on my ECM series. But I just wanted to pick out just the tip of the iceberg in order to show you some of the really awesome finds. And I found so much ECMs and CTIs, it's unbelievable. They were dirt cheap, so these ones were not that cheap, but amazing. And I don't think I have to say anything about this. It's Sleep-like music for 18 musicians, and I was looking out for this for quite a long time, but it was always so pricey, and I finally found it on the flea market for a really reasonable price, and so I'm pretty happy to finally have this in the collection. I had 3 stores on the map for Utrecht. And for the last one, we were standing in front of closed doors, even though it was supposed to be open. And while I was just looking up on Facebook, that I just wanted to know if maybe the owner was ill or something, we were approached by a man who was just asking if we were looking for records, and yeah, I said yes, of course. And then he told me that he has an antique mall just 2 houses away, and we just went there, and this was the most crazy store ever. I had, I think, about 4,000 records, all secondhand, because he's always buying collections, and he had so much dope stuff for unbelievable prices, and I was so happy because it was just like just fate, because if he hadn't approached us, we wouldn't even walk down the lane and wouldn't have discovered the shop, and he has no sign on the window, so you wouldn't see it. And this was just crazy. I found a lot of ECMs there, so I'm just going to show 3 records. The owner was very kind. I bought a lot of records. He even just gave me 1 record for free, which was Billy Cobham Spectrum, which is really awesome. There I found Charlie Mariano Cascade, which came out also in '74 on Curated Records. In the same year as Reflections, which I already have. And yeah, the first song, Suit of the Festival, let me put it in 1 sentence. Meh. This first song is really not good, and I was like kind of disappointed when I listened to it, but afterwards it gets really better. And it's jazz fusion with some little funk influences to it, and the second side is more adventurous than the first side, and so it's a nice record nevertheless. I found this dirt cheap in pretty nice shape. The Mavas, Fillmore East, June '71. I don't think I have to say that much about it. It's more rock than jazz and very funny, and thematically it just starts where 200 Motels is ending. And yeah, the most funny song on here is the Mud Shark, which refers to the Mud Shark incident, which involved Led Zeppelin and Vanilla Fudge. And in case you don't know what the Mud Shark incident is, please Google it. I cannot even tell you. It's so bizarre, I cannot even tell you what it's about, but please Google it. And 1 ECM I'm just going to show because I'm so happy that I finally have it. It's Michael Nora Vanessa. As I said, I'm not going to say that much about the ECMs here in the video, but this one is just a stellar record. I visited other record stores in Utrecht, but I'm just going to sum them up, and there I found Black Gypsy by Architect and Chicago Bow, an original from 1969, just pretty good shape. came out on the French America label. And this is crazy good. Chicago Bochan is making vocals on here. And due to the vocals of him and the harmonica, it has a really interesting bluesy approach. It's wild and highly energetic and just terrific record. Uzi Vizia from Heads from 1972, which is their third album. It's just jazz funk with Afrobeat, and yeah, I got this for free because I bought so much records in one store, and so yeah, I really like to listen to it. And something else I found is Curated Survivor Suit, which I'm really happy about. And Milt Jackson Olinga, which came out on CTI in 1974. And this one is incredible. The first song is sampled by a track called Crest War Tour on the Midnight Marauders LP. And even beside of that, it's just an awesome record because it's just this mellow, beautiful, laid-back, relaxing jazz, which comes because of Milt Jackson playing the microphone here and Ron Carter's playing bass here again. Then we went to Amsterdam, and there, of course, we also went to some record stores. And one of them, which I found was really awesome, was Flash Records. This one originally just sold classic records, but now they just branched out to more obscure stuff from every genre, and you really have some obscure stuff there. It was so amazing because I didn't even know that much of the records that were there. And I think Chris Cole would have liked this shop a lot. The funny thing about that record store is that besides selling records, they also sell fruits and vegetables from the farm of their neighbor and marmalade and everything, which is quite funny. But yeah, the couple working there was really nice, and they had so much amazing stuff. For example, Lord Krishna of Koloka, Sergius Golovin, Jerry Berkers, Jürgen Dolasse von Wallenstein, Jörg Bierke, Klaus Schulze, Walter Westrup, and Bernd Witthüser from Witthüser and Westrup. This is crazy, to say the least. It's psychedelic cosmic rock at its finest. Sergius Golovin is a Swiss author, politician, and poet. And when Tim Fleary was in exile in Switzerland while the setup of Cosmic Courier was recorded, he was a friend of him, and therefore they connected, and so this record just emerged. And yeah, it's the second record of Cosmic Courier, which came out in 1973. This is the 180 gram, I think, progressive reissue from 1990. And Sergius Golovin is doing spoken words on here, while the others are playing e-guitar and bass and bongos and vibraphone and electronics, and Klaus Schulze is drumming here and playing the organ and the mellotron and e-guitar and acoustic guitar and electronics and percussion, while Westrup and Witthüser are giving the folk influence to it with the flutes and harmonica and psalter, tablas and acoustic guitar. And this is just mixing psychedelia with folk, it's electronic, it's trippy and spacey and just overall fantastic. And yeah, an awesome find. Organ in concert. I recently bought the first organ and I was happy to get this one, really cheap. It's again Paul McCandless, Ralph Towner, or Colin Walcott and Glenn Moore, and just the mesmerizing guitar play of Colin Walcott, which I'm really a big fan of, and it's a magnificent record. Freddie Hubbard, the Hubbard, which was recorded in 1969 in Germany, and this is just another great outlet of Freddie Hubbard. In the red light district of Amsterdam, there are two really interesting stores. One called Red Light, the other is Vintage Voodoo. They are in the same yard, and Vintage Voodoo is a really small store, which was formerly a brothel. And there's a door, and you just had to ring a bell where records is displayed on it, and then someone came through the yard and let you through the gate. But nowadays, since Red Light Records is situated directly on the next house, it's quite open, so you just can go there if the gate is open. But it's really nice because it's kind of tucked away in the courtyard and you don't see it from the front. And both stores were really small, so you just fit like 5 people in, and they had a quite nice selection. While Red Light was more focusing on also some weird stuff, but also some dance house things. Vintage Voodoo was absolutely crazy. They have almost so much weird stuff from every genre and private pressings, and this would be another record store I think Chris would have liked a lot. From the Red Light shop I bought a couple of records. The one I'm going to show is a test pressing from Pharoah Sanders' Love Will Find a Way, which came out in 1978. Maybe you can see it here. Even though I like the earlier Pharoah Sanders stuff more, this one's really nice too. It's more gearing towards soul jazz, it has some up-tempo pieces, but it's kind of enjoyable to listen to nevertheless. I found it cool that it was chest pressing and it wasn't that expensive. So on Vintage Voodoo I was just overwhelmed by the obscure stuff they had, and the good thing was that you could just listen to the record there directly. And I bought Air, Live Air, which came out on the Black Saint label in 1980, and it's a live album by the group Air, which is really driving. It's very free, but not the annoying way of free, I would say, and it's quite minimalistic, but it's a fabulous record. And something else I was super happy to find is Pure Pauke 2. I've talked about Pure Pauke a couple of times before. This is the second album of them, which came out in 1976 over Love Records. This is again the Swedish Love Records, Svenska Love Records, which came out in 1978. And even though I would say I like the first one more, the first side is really more jazz, the second side is more world ethnic music, but it's incredible. This record is from 78 and it's minty mint. It looks like something that came out last year and was sealed until today because it's just immaculate, and this record is in better shape than I am. It's incredible. And something else I picked up for fun is Rick Stanley's Song of Life. He's calling himself J. Guru Death. This came out in a private pressing in 1970. with some spiritual influences, spoken word on this, which makes it kind of meditative because he's talking about Krishna, and Paul Horn is playing flute on here. And this was a good record, and just found it funny while I was listening to it in the store, so I picked it up. On the last day in Amsterdam, we went to a record fair, and I was quite excited to see how the record fair there would be, because I think 2 years ago I was in Utrecht in November on the largest record fair of Europe, and this one was quite insane because it was really, you couldn't even do it in one day. It would have taken 3 days, I guess, and I just had some hours, and it was just overwhelming, and everything was really pricey there. And I found Paul Winter consort, Icarus, which came out in 1972, and I saw this in one of Khan's videos a while ago, and I was sampling it afterwards because it sounded interesting, and I found that it was really beautiful, and so I was really happy to find this. And this is just merging jazz with world music, even more world music than jazz. It's Paul Winter on soprano, sax and vocals, David Darling on cello and vocals, Paul McCandless on oboe, English horn, contrabass and vocals, and Ralph Towner on the classical guitar, 12-string guitar, steel string guitar, piano, regal bass, organ and vocals, Bert Bushler on the Bender bass, and Colin Welcott on conga, tabla, Neil Dangam, pseudo, sabas, kettle drums, bass marimba, and of course sitar. And this is really beautiful. This has even some songs of Oregon on it, and like The Signs of a Candle, which is this time just underlined with the vocals of Ralph Towner, and I really like this song, so I'm happy to have it in another version, and all versions are really good. And here even Billy Cobham is joining, and Barry Altschul. So yeah, I was really happy to find this. It's an incredible record. Steve Coon, Trance, an ECM from 1975, which I'm going to show in one of my ECM series. Sugarcane, Don Harris, Got the Blues, which came out on MPS in 1972. And this is a live recording from the Berlin Philharmonic Hall in November 1971. And Don Sugarcane Harris, who's playing the electric violin here and is singing, is joined by Volker Kriegel on the electric guitar, Terry Riptal also on the electric guitar, Neville Whitehead on electric bass, Robert Wright from Surf Machine on the drums, and Wolfgang Downer on keyboards and electronic devices. Yeah. This makes it really interesting, and I think the cover just kind of depicts what the record sounds like, because the violin makes it kind of unusual jazz rock. Sugarcane, Don Harris is singing here, and this gives it a kind of blues appeal, which is really nice, and it's really driving and wild, and just a fabulous record. Marion Brown, Free for Shep, which came out in 1967, which is the debut solo album of Marion Brown, and he did here what Archie Shepp was doing a year before with War for Coltrane. It was an homage to Archie Shepp. And the first side consists of 3 compositions of Marion Brown, while the second side consists of 3 compositions of Archie Shepp, and both sides are really awesome. Norris Jones is playing bass here, Bobby Cap is playing on the drums, Dave Burrell is playing on the piano, Gretchen Moncure is the first playing trombone, Beaver Harris is on the drums, and Stanley Cowell is on the piano. This is a magnificent classic jazz album which came out on Impulse, and I'm happy to find last one for today is Dollar Brand, The Children of Africa, which came out on the German Enya label in 1976. And this features Dollar Brand, aka Abdullah Ibrahim, on piano, soprano sax, vocals, and Cecil McBee on bass, and Roy Brooks on the drums. This is really a splendid record. The distinctive bass play of Cecil McBee is featured here heavily in some parts. Sometimes it even feels as if the focus is more on Cecil McBee than on Dollar Brand. But then some beautiful piano play comes in, and it's just a terrific avant-garde spiritual jazz record, which I highly enjoy. So that's it. This were a slight fraction of my holiday finds. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave something in the comments, and I hope to return with the ECM series next. Have an awesome weekend, guys, and thank you for watching. Bye!